The world doesn't owe you fairness. You can be honest and still get betrayed. You can work harder and still be passed over. That's not a moral failing, it's reality. The difference between people who survive and people who crumble isn't luck. It's a mindset. It's a set of habits and ways of thinking that I call dark intelligence. Now, don't let the name scare you. Dark intelligence isn't about cruelty or manipulation for its own sake. It's a practical psychological toolkit born from pain, from betrayal, humiliation, and defeat. Some people break after those things. Others forge strength from them. If you learn these skills, you won't simply survive. You'll be able to protect yourself and influence outcomes without losing your integrity. Before we begin, drop this affirmation in the comments right now. I choose to be strategically intelligent, not emotionally reactive. Say it. Own it. This video will teach you 8 traits that separate survivors from victims, leaders from followers. Use them to defend and to build, not to destroy. Number 1. Calculated opacity. You don't need to disclose everything. Transparency feels virtuous, but oversharing is usually just giving away your leverage. Calculated opacity means revealing only what's necessary. Leave gaps. People will fill them with imagination, and imagination gives them something to fixate on. That fascination turns into influence. This isn't lying. It's strategic communication. When someone asks about your plans, you don't narrate your entire playbook. You answer just enough to satisfy, then shift the conversation. Your words become rarer and therefore heavier. When you practice this, your presence and your statements carry weight because people know you don't say everything casually. Number 2, adaptive persona. Be water, fit the container, keep your core. You're not the same with everyone. That's okay. That's human. Adaptive persona makes that natural tendency intentional. Learn to speak the language other people understand. Facts for analysts, feelings for emotional people, practicality for doers, and vision for big-picture thinkers. This doesn't mean being fake. It means being effective. Your core values and principles remain fixed. Your expression changes depending on the audience. That ability to connect with anyone without losing yourself is a leadership superpower. Number 3, detachment, freedom from desperate need. Attachment is a form of invisible chains. When you need something, a job, approval, a relationship, you lose leverage. Detachment is not coldness, it's freedom. The less you're controlled by outcomes, the clearer your judgment becomes. Imagine negotiating with someone who must have a deal versus someone who can walk away. Who has the upper hand? The one with options. Practice small detachments. Don't cling to winning every argument. Don't chase approval from everyone, and don't let a plan's failure shake your identity. The paradox is beautiful. The less you need something, the more likely you are to get it. Number 4, silent leverage, influence without noise. Power rarely needs to shout. Silent leverage is about shaping situations so others choose what benefits you without feeling forced. It's being indispensable, solving problems, and letting your presence do the heavy lifting. Use silence. People fill pauses with words they shouldn't. A delay after a question makes your answer weightier. In negotiations, having undisclosed alternatives changes the dynamic. In relationships and teams, quietly adding consistent value earns loyalty without demands. This requires patience. Plant seeds and let them grow. Number 5, psychological echo, mirror to influence. People are driven by needs, fears, and unspoken stories. Psychological echo is the skill of reflecting those deeper truths back to someone so they feel seen and understood. It's not trickery, it's listening at a level most people don't bother with. Listen for the emotion behind the words. When someone says, "I hate my job," they might be saying, "I don't feel valued." Reflect the underlying truth, and people open up. When others feel truly seen, trust forms and influence follows. Use that influence ethically. Present solutions in terms that match what they value: security, recognition, freedom, and you'll create genuine alignment. Number 6. Ambiguous morality, pragmatic ethics. This is the controversial one. Ambiguous morality doesn't mean having no ethics. It means prioritizing real outcomes over appearances when situations are complex. Sometimes kindness looks harsh. Sometimes firmness is the kindest option. Example: a team member lies to clients. The nice thing might be endless second chances. The pragmatic thing might be to remove the harm to protect others. That's not cruelty, that's responsibility. But there's a catch. Establish your boundaries. Decide your non-negotiables and never cross them. Within those limits, allow pragmatic decisions that serve the greater good. Number 7. Controlled exposure. Manage your narrative. In an age of constant oversharing, restraint becomes a superpower. Controlled exposure is selective disclosure, sharing the right thing at the right time with the right people. The curiosity gap created by strategic withholding draws attention. It makes people value what you do reveal. This applies at work, socially, and online. Reveal skills over time, post thoughtfully, and avoid broadcasting everything. Timing matters. The same information can be bragging in one moment and humility in another. Manage your digital footprint, because every post becomes part of your permanent record. Thoughtful exposure keeps you interesting and preserves your strategic edge. Number 8. Outcome obsession. Focus on results, not ego. People love being right more than being effective. Outcome obsession flips that. Ask, what result do I want? Then choose actions that lead there, even if they don't make you look clever. This mindset separates talkers from doers. 7 o'clock. In arguments, outcome-focused people decide whether the goal is changing behavior, preserving a relationship, or gathering information, and they act accordingly. In work, they prioritize projects that move the needle, not the ones that look good on a resume. They practice strategic laziness, doing less, but the right less. Stay ethical. Don't sacrifice values for outcomes. Be stubborn about goals, flexible about methods. Putting it into practice, 7-day challenge. Knowledge is worthless without application. Pick one trait that resonated most and practice it for 7 days. Maybe you try controlled exposure in conversations. Maybe you practice detachment when someone criticizes you. Track what changes. Notice how people respond differently when you act from strategy rather than reactivity. Remember the responsibility we talked about. Use these traits to protect yourself and to improve outcomes for others, not to harm. Dark intelligence is about building people who can't be easily manipulated, who can navigate complexity, and who elevate, not exploit, the people around them. The most dangerous person in a room might be someone with nothing to lose. But the most valuable person in any room is someone who understands human psychology and uses that knowledge to make life better for themselves and others. Which will you be? If this changed how you see intelligence and power, hit like. If you want more on psychology, strategy, and human behavior, subscribe and ring the bell. Drop a comment. Which of the 8 traits do the most successful people you know already use, and which one will you practice first? And remember, true intelligence isn't just being smart. It's being wise enough to use your smarts for something bigger than yourself. Stay strategic, stay ethical, stay powerful. Follow and subscribe. Don't forget,